This is the story of our homes and our city.
This house in Pasig was built 15 years ago, but it looks as new as the day the owners moved in. That's because the house is new, or more likely, newly renovated. Roselle and her husband initially just wanted to expand the room of their teenage kids. They ended up fixing the whole house. In fact, they bought the property beside them so they could have a bigger garden. Architect Jean Flancia took charge of the renovation.
The history of the house is that they newly acquired this property, and I like the garden, you know. But before, you would normally skirt around the back or the front to appreciate this. With a few little movements of the walls, we were able to create a space that afforded them, you know, this kind of view from the living room.
Okay,
actually.
so you gave them a view of the garden from most parts of the house,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Jean tore down a firewall that was blocking the view of the garden.
So this is the main entrance you were mentioning.
Yes.
And I know that even in your house you were doing a lot of glass, right? So this is the same thing?
Yes.
Is it a special glass or?
Not really. This is the usual green float, and then with powder-coated aluminum sections, basically. So very cost-effective.
All right, let's go inside and
Welcome.
appreciate your space. Wow! Oh my goodness. This is an amazing space. I love the high ceiling.
The ceiling level before was really pretty much dropped. Maybe about 8 feet.
Okay. How did you convince the client that you were going to tear down their ceiling?
Well, I guess they just trusted me. You know, I was suggesting all of these ideas, and they said, "But they're such good friends. They just let me do what I wanted to do." And I think that's one of the things that you enjoy with clients when they give you the full trust.
The entire floor plan was also changed. The kids' room is now the living area.
And you were also involved with the decor?
You know, I'd say I just created a palette for Roselle to do what she wants interior. You know? But as you can see, she's got the taste for interiors as well. Anyway.
Okay. The client herself was the one who chose the pieces, given the palette to work with, and very neutral.
This is where the bedroom was. And I just didn't want the door to be too exposed to the rest of the house. You know? So I created a little anteroom. And I use structure as a design element. It also helps quite a bit support the old roof kasi.
Okay, so this is structural, these...
One of them, this one.
So as we go down here, this is a really big space, no? You've got sliding doors and then more glass up there. What's that for?
So that the transition of spaces lang talaga. So you can perceive the space more if it's glass. And you could see the continuation of the slope of the roof kasi pagka ganun eh.
The dining area looks bigger and now opens into the kitchen.
Dining room has always been here, adjacent to the kitchen, and it afforded them this nice view of a pocket garden, you know. So, and then what we did was just to provide for these mirrors, because from here you get sneak angles of where the rest of the house is.
I could see all the way to the garage.
That's right.
Amazing. This was their only view of the garden.
Yes, the living room was there, dining, and then the garden.
Wow.
They never had the view of the big space and garden nila ngayon at the back.
Oh my goodness.
Diba? So,
what a big change. Yeah.
The kitchen's always been here as well.
As is, the style, and you didn't have to change?
I think there were some improvements for the top and the cabinet, but the basic placement of where it was has always been here. Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. It's here and it's open to the dining room. I'm sure they have a dirty kitchen.
They do.
They always do. It's part of it.
Much what it was.
And the floor?
The floor we had to redo.
Okay. So here's the original pocket garden you mentioned. Yeah.
The furniture pieces were all handpicked by Roselle again. But pretty much the same space. Even the polycarbonate roof has always been there.
Okay. The family would have to go through this path to get to the big garden.
Yeah, the gazebo that they made. Or up front. With the skirt in front to be able to get
So basically what you did was that entire wall was just glass and then gave them a beautiful view. What would you call the style?
Again, I think it's just contemporary. I'd like to term it tropicalized modern pa rin, ano? But I've always had this thing for an off-white color. But I've always played with light, the scaling process, low to high, and the quality of the space is, I think, very important.
This house was renovated 4 years ago. The secret to keeping it fresh and looking brand new is the owner herself. When Yuzi returns, Roselle will show us how she did it.
I swear, this is the cleanest house I've ever seen.
Really?